Pugs are such a terrible dog. You know the dog that looks like its face got smushed and then it never unsmushed its face? It's like if someone pushed in a dog's face and then they're like, okay, joke's over, like unsmush your face. And they're like, nope, I'm just stuck like this now. And you're like, oh, wow, okay. And then apparently all humans have come together and agreed that, oh, that's cute. But I don't know about that. Anyways, I was going to put out my trash this week and I saw one of my neighbors walking their pug. And I was, rolling out the garbage can. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's like weirdly loud. I don't know why garbage cans are so loud. I feel like with all the engineering and the technology we have in the world, we probably could have found a way to make the wheels less noisy. I don't know what it is, but they designed it in a way that makes you feel so shitty if you forget to put your trash out the night before. Because a couple weeks ago, I had forgotten, and then magically remembered at 2 a.m. I was like, shit, I forgot to put the trash out. So I, quickly went outside and I started rolling it down my driveway. I was like, shit, this is so loud. So then I just, did it very quietly, just inch by inch. Took me 15 minutes to get to the driveway. It's only 10 feet away. It's only 10 feet away. I just didn't want to wake anyone up. So I was just, tried picking it up. Then I realized, no upper body strength. Trash can wasn't even full. There was like one thing in it. I honestly could have taken the thing and put it by the sidewalk, but I was like, no, it's gotta be in the can. But yeah, I was taking out my trash in a timely manner last week, and I saw one of my neighbors was walking their pug, and my garbage can was really loud, but I was like, it's exceptionally loud today. But then when I went and, parked the trash can, the noise was still there. I was like, what is that noise? And I look over, and that pug is breathing like it's breathing the last breath of life it's ever had. Like it's struggling really hard. I don't even know how to imitate it, so I'm not going to try. No, I will. Just give you an idea. It was a lot of like this, and this is the best I'm going to do, so I apologize. But it was like... It was just that same pace, that same sound. I was hearing that. And I look over at my neighbor and he's like, how's it going? I was like, yeah, afternoon. And then we, were caught in each other's gaze for a second. And then he broke the silence and said, oh, he's okay. I was like, oh, yeah. No, I was like, you have a good night. And I walked away. And he got me thinking, you shouldn't have a dog, right? Where you have to be like, yeah, no, he's good. That's just the way he is. You shouldn't have to... You shouldn't have to explain a dog's existence to another person, You shouldn't have to, have someone witness your dog existing and then be like, oh my God, is something wrong? And then have to always be like, oh no, he's just... I know you think he sounds like he's having a problem and dying. No, it's okay. That's just the way he is. You might think that made me less nervous. Now I'm more scared. I'm like, oh my God, so should we do something? It's like, no, that's just his existence. I'm like, oh. I was like, that's not a thing you should have, right? That's like if you had a car that just always had its emergency blinkers on, because then people are always going to have to ask you like, oh, is something wrong? It's like, no, that's just how this car is. Oh. Shouldn't you get that looked at? No, it's just a feature. Oh, okay. Well, you understand how to everyone else in the world that looks like there's a problem. No, I get it. I get it. But apparently, I looked it up. I was like, I know this is a thing, right? That pugs have health problems, but why is that a thing? I don't know, like, what the cause of it is, but the explanation of why pugs have so many health problems, like, apparently their kneecaps are really bad, too. But the explanation of why pugs have so many health problems is apparently because their bodies are too small. It's like you're fitting in, like a computer, it's like you're putting a giant motherboard inside of a cell phone. That's what a pug is. And so the pug's just like bursting at the seams, like, it's like, I want to die. But then got me thinking, yeah, that's not a good thing to have, right? You should probably, someone designed a computer like that, a cell phone like that, they would put it out of production. But humans are like, I kind of like how that looks. Let's keep making them. Because we're ultimately, I know this is bad, but aren't humans in control of like some animals breeding? At least domestic dogs. We control that shit. If there's a breed that went out of fashion, or went out of existence, it's because it went out of fashion. It's because humans got together and they were like, I don't want that one anymore. Let's stop making them fuck. You know? uh, hmm. Yeah, that one's not that cute. Where do they have kids? Yeah, let's spay and neuter those fucking things. I don't want more of that, you know? But with pugs, they were like, keep running it up. But I'm like, yeah, it's so small, and it always looks like it has a problem. It's like a smart car that always has its emergency lights on. It's just you're like, who? Why? It's so small, and everyone's like, is something wrong? And it's like, no, that's just the way it is. But from a spectator's point of view, you look at that, and an obvious question is like, what the fuck is going on there? And I don't think, maybe I'm on a line here, I don't think that's good. I know, hot take. I feel like if a mammal's existence is torture, maybe we should put it out of its misery. I'm not saying we kill all pugs. I'm just saying, why would we create more of those things? Why would we, perpetuate this torture? What kind of sick fucks are we? You know? I think, that same animalistic part of our brain that gets triggered when we kill an ant? You know, a little ant, you see it marching in line. I don't do it, but I've known people to do it, to kill ants. They take an ant and they're like, I just ended your existence. And it's like, goddamn. But that synapse, right? That thing that sparks in their head when they kill that ant. I think that's the same thing that happens when people are like, I want to keep making pugs. Like pug breeders. Those are some fucking sick fucks. They have to be, right? Because when those things pop out, immediately you're like, oh man, that's too bad. You know? You take it to the doctor, you're like, yep, let's get all the checks it needs to get. And the doctor's like, yeah, so we're getting red flags on everything. And they're like, well, yeah, it's a pug. And they're like, oh yeah, you're right. Then it's good. Well, it's not, but it's good for a pug. You know? I think that's sad. But it's all about the aesthetic, right? It doesn't matter how unhealthy something is. As long as we like how it looks. That's what happens with fashion nowadays, right? Beauty standards. Once upon a time, they're like really, really skinny was in fashion. And we all were like, that's fucking really unhealthy. But we liked how it looked. So we're like, let's keep doing that. And I think pugs are just like that, you know? I think we look at pugs and we're like, oh man, that's really unhealthy. But I like the way it looks. So let's keep doing that. It's like, no, stop. Just think about it. Okay, just for a second. Stop thinking about what you like and think about how that living thing feels, right? I don't think we should, keep egging that on. If it's just torturing the poor thing, I went to Quick Quack car wash. Finally washed my car. I went to Quick Quack car wash and the lady said, hello, sir. Which also, that's the thing that's been happening. In the past week, 4 people have called me sir. And I don't know if I've talked about this on here. I think I have. But I really don't like when people call me sir. It's like it ages you, It doesn't age you. It just makes you feel like people look at you as like an older person. And I don't think I ever want to be looked at with that level of formality, It's not even that people look at you like an older person. I said that because sir has this like wiseness to it, Sir feels like something you earn. Like if someone was like, hey sir, they're basically saying, oh, you've lived enough life to where you have enough wisdom about general things. So you are referred to as sir. But I don't like that. I don't think I have sir level wisdom. I think I have dude level wisdom at best. And that's what I want. Also, I feel like sir creates a dynamic. Like the other day, I had this guy come and look at my furniture, and he finished up and he said, anything else I can do for you, sir? And it felt gross. It felt nasty, I was like, oh no, you're good. That was it. And then he left, and then I took a shower. I felt disgusting. I felt dirty. I was like, oh, did he really look at me as a sir? I didn't think that was our dynamic, I would have and I know this isn't how the world works, but I would have much more appreciated it. Actually, I appreciate what he did, but I much more would have felt comfortable with him coming in and being like, all right, man, so where's the stuff? There? Okay, let me take care of it. All right, so I think you're all set. Anything else you need me to take care of? And be like, no, you're good. He's like, all right, peace out, dude, and leave. And I would have felt so comfortable, but sir was like, he wasn't. But when he says "sir," it almost I look at him like he's standing, very proper and puts his hands behind his back and he's wearing like a butler outfit. I'm like, no, stop! I don't like this. What you've done with that three-letter word. This is a weird dynamic. I don't like it. And the lady at Quick Quack called me sir too. I was like, no, no, you don't got to do. I'm just a guy in a car. You don't. No. But she said, "How are you, sir?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm great. So, which unlimited subscription will you be looking at today?" I was like, um, I won't be looking. I won't be doing any looking today." And then we just stared at each other. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I pulled out this card. I have this card with like a amount of prepaid car washes that my dad gave me. I gave it to her. I was like, can you check how many car washes this has on it? And then she was like, yeah, no problem. So we have the three different types of washes, and the unlimited subscription will get you blah blah blah. I zoned out. I was like, I'm not gonna do this, so I don't need to listen. I try to listen to people in all aspects of life, but when you're trying to like sell me on a subscription, check out. I'm not there. Sorry, you lost me. If you ever think I'm paying too close attention, start listing off subscriptions. I'll immediately go, mind numb, mind blank. I'll go brain dead because I don't give a fuck. But apparently, the one thing I did catch out of all her, all of the script that's planted in her head was, as long as you get 2 car washes a month, it pays for itself. But then I was thinking, who's gonna wash their car that often? Do people really care that much? Like a car, it's like shoes, right? How often do you need to clean those things? At most, like once a year, right? Obviously, anomalies happen, right? There's outliers, but you might be driving and then a bunch of fucking bugs are over the highway you drove over, and now you got a smattering of bug souffle on your windshield. You got to get that shit, scrubbed up. I get it if you're gonna get a car wash, but for the day to day, I don't think you need to get a car wash that often. Like my car's kind of dirty. It's been a little dirty for about a month or two, and it was nice to get it cleaned. Obviously, not all the marks are gone because I think you got to go through enough iterations. But I'm like, what person? I think a car wash from there is like $16. I'm like, what person's dishing out $32 a month to have a clean car? Do they care that much about that? I don't know. Different people value different things, but I couldn't see that being a possibility for me personally. Like it's just gonna get. I mean, this is obviously the lazy man's take on laundry and dishes, where it's like, why am I gonna do laundry? It's gonna get dirty again. It's like, well, that's okay, but yes, you're right, but not. No, like I get what you're saying, but that doesn't count here. That's why I don't think I'll be a good parent because like my kids will make like an argument like that. I'll be like, fuck. I mean, I know what you're saying, but yeah, I don't know what to say back to you to counter that. That's a good okay. Shit. And they're like, yeah, what are you gonna do now? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to parent in this situation. Fuck, can you just leave the room for a few minutes? I need to think about this one. Cause like I'm gonna get you to do this, but like I don't know what to. Just give me a sec, okay? Well, Dad, just know that anything you tell me, I'm not just gonna refer back. No, I get it. I get the dynamic that you created. Fucking shut up. Just get out of here. Give me a couple seconds, okay? But then I thought about that. That opening line that she hit me with? Which unlimited subscription will you be looking to buy today? I was stun locked. I didn't know what to say in response because I'm not looking at a subscription, but she planted that question in a way that I have to respond to. I can't like beat around it. Like when you go to a fast food restaurant, they're like, "Do you want to try the onion ring barbecue burger today? You want to try that new burger, huh?" And I'm always like, "Oh no," and they're like, "Awesome. So what can I get for you?" But she was like, "No, I know you're gonna buy this. Which one do you want to buy though?" That's like if I went to the fast food place and they were like, "Do you want to try?" No, not even that. They wouldn't even start with that. They would say, "So when you order the new burger, do you want just the burger or the combo?" I'd be like, "Oh, no, I don't want, I don't want that burger." And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. What do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you have to make me go through that?" It was the same thing she did to me, you know? She's like, "So which one of these are you buying?" I'm like, Also, she said, which one are you looking to buy? Like I was researching this beforehand. Fuck no. I was an afterthought. I went into work that day and I was like, oh my God, I've been meaning to get a car wash. I have this little card in my wallet. I should go now. I have time. It's not like I was reading up on it for days, studying it for it like it's a test. You know what? The whatever her name is, Michaela. You know what, Michaela? After 3 days of research and an in-depth look, I think I'm gonna go for the middle tier subscription. I really think for my car, for the specs it has, and for the lifestyle I live, I think that's gonna be the most bang for the buck. And she was like, you know what? Just meeting you for a couple minutes here, I would agree. See, look at that. My research paid off. I'm not doing that shit. I'm going there so that that piece of bird shit on the far right side of my window goes away. That's what I'm going there for. I'm going there so that when I go to open my door, it's not met with some fucking weird sticky substance. I'm going there so that if, I'm speeding, the police can clearly read my license plate. They're like, is that a fucking H or an A? You know? Like when people try to find out if something's a Hyundai or an Acura, they're like, what the fuck am I looking at? You know? But I thought that was so interesting. It was such a amazing move too, like from a salesperson point of view. I know you're gonna do this, but which one do you want? Oh wow. Holy shit. She almost convinced me. I started thinking back in my brain. I was like, did I think about was I gonna get a subscription? I actually this is the fucking stupid thought. The initial thought I had was, oh fuck. Do you have to have a subscription to like come here now? I was like, shit, I might enroll in a subscription. If she pushed just one step harder, I would have a quick quack car wash subscription right now, an unlimited subscription. They would pay for itself with 2 washes a month. And you might also look at that deal like, oh, so if I go 2 months, 2 washes a month, it's gonna be worth it. Well, now I'll go two washes a month. But no, that's the thing. If you're not gonna go at least 2 washes a month, don't do it, right? Because that's when it becomes worth it. But if you weren't gonna do it in the first place, don't buy it. Like I wash my car what? Twice a year? To make that card worth it, I have to go 12 times a year. Was that a 600% increase in visitation rate? I'm not going to do that shit. It's kind of like when they do that thing, at stores where they're like, buy one, get one 40% off. And then you're like, well, fuck, now I got to buy another one. But it's like, you're not going to need the same two exact pairs of pants, man. You have a laundry machine, like a fucking clothes washer, right? A washing machine? That's what humans call it. Sorry. You have a washing machine. You don't need the fucking same pair of pants again. But it's 40%. Yeah, but when are you going to wear that, man? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Those BOGOs, man, they really, they should call them POGOs because they be fucking stick up my ass the way they're fucking me. Okay. But yeah, there's something so alluring, something so tempting about a BOGO. Buy one, get one at a discount or for free. Free's dangerous. Free might just make you buy a thing. I'll go to Walmart. I'll have that big bin of shitty old movies and it's like buy one, get one free. I might just buy a shitty old movie for $9 just to be like, well, I got this one for free. No, you didn't. You got 2 movies for $4.50. You can buy a movie for what the fuck? Do you think that old shitty? You think Click with Adam Sandler's $9? You dumbass. No, I did go to a Walmart yesterday and I saw one of those shitty old movie baskets. You know one movie from that basket? Go ahead, guess. This isn't a conversation. I forgot. One of those shitty movies was $7.50. I was like, Walmart, you dirty dog. What do you think? I'm just going to do that? I was like, who even has technology that could take a DVD? That's a bold move. That's, I think, where they get people, right? Like, if you have technology that takes DVDs, you're probably out of touch enough to be like, yeah, DVDs are $7.50, But me, Being just tech savant that I am, I know that I could pretty much rent any movie I want off of Amazon for $4 in Ultra HD, which no, Amazon always reminds me that my computer doesn't support. So, do I want to proceed with the purchase? Yes. Can I turn that notification off? Yes. Do I? No. It's just, to me, a nice way. I don't do it for the Ultra HD notification. I do it just to be like, do I want to buy this movie? Do I want to rent it? That's what I do it as. I know I don't have Ultra HD capabilities, but I just want another step to be like, are you sure you want to watch this? Okay, fine. I don't want to watch fucking the B movie, Even though the B movie is on Netflix, still have not watched it. I don't know if I ever will watch the B movie. You ever think about that? There's like certain movies where you're like, I'll get around to it. Like there's certain things where you're like, fuck no, but one day. Like Lord of the Rings, have never dabbled in it. But I think somewhere in my head, I'm like, yeah, but one day I'll probably watch it. Star Trek, the same way. I've watched one of the movies, one of the ones with Chris Pine. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, one day I'll probably watch them. But like, if you were to be like, oh, next week? No, I don't want to watch them now. Like, no time soon. But one day, you know? It's the same thing with like foods. Like, I've never tried a dragon fruit. Actually, that's a lie. I just tried a dragon fruit a month ago. But it was in one of those fruit salads that you buy at like a grocery store. So it doesn't really count. All those foods, they're so like close together that they all start tasting like each other. It's kind of like the metaphor for you become the average of the 10 people you hang out with. That's what happens in those fruit salads. Each salad now just tastes like a conglomeration of all, or each piece of those fruit pieces tastes like a conglomeration of all the fruit around it. So you're like, what does it even taste like? So I don't think I would say I've actually tried dragon fruit. And I can confirm that I've never tried a good dragon fruit. So like dragon fruit's a good example where it's like, I've never really tried dragon fruit, but I know that one day I will try it. It's the same thing with like travel, right? Where it's like, I've never been to New York, but for some reason I'm like, one day I'll be there though. Like I'll end up there. Oh, do you have a plan to go? No, 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 I don't. In the next 2 years, don't see myself going to New York. But in some weird part of my brain, I'm like, no, but one day, I'll find myself there. I have these delusions. Dragon fruit, New York, the B movie, all things. I'm like, yeah, no rush to go there, but one day I'll be there. And I don't think that's a procrastination thing. I think it's just a thing, you know. There's just other stuff I have to do right now. I'm just a little busy. But it's like a YOLO, right? So how busy are you, fucker? Make the plan. Book the flight, all right? What are you sitting around for, huh? What do you think, Jerry Seinfeld made that movie for you to just watch it one day? No, you have time. Fucking watch that shit. Hey, you went to a grocery store last week. You saw a dragon fruit. You picked it up. You inspected it. Fucking buy it, idiot. Well, you don't think New York has enough to attract you there? No, it has enough. You'll find your way there. Fucking book the plane ticket, dumbass. Sorry, Jesus. There's enough of a reason to do everything in the world, but just in that same breath, there's enough of a reason to do absolutely nothing in the world, And I think that's the beauty of life, is that everything in the world can have an argument to do and to not do. And I think that's beautiful. Speaking of travel, I was on Facebook the other day, and a guy I went to high school with, he took a selfie and he posted it, and he had the caption that read, 40 more hours and I'll be back in Maui. Y'all better watch out. I'll put the caption right here. This is exactly the caption. So you can see, look at those emojis. Those emojis he used. This is what it said. 40 more hours and I'll be back in Maui. Y'all better watch out. And then that emoji. Watch out for what? What are you going to do? See, this scares me because is it a warning? What should the people in Maui armor up? Like, what are you gonna do there, big dog? What do people need to watch out for? That's weird. Also, 40 hours. Thank you. That's good. I mean, usually you should give someone a 2 weeks notice before you're about to fuck their shit up. But 40 hours, that's still generous. It's more than a day, less than two. Y'all better watch out for what? That's always so curious to me. That's what I wish. I wish I was this guy's friend for no other reason than just to be like, hey, what do you mean by that? I don't want to ever be friends with this guy. I mean, we're friends on Facebook because, that means nothing. But I wish I was close enough to him to be like, hey, bud, great post. What the fuck does this mean? Because I really want to know. What is the thought process? I've seen this, right? Where people are like, I'm going to a place, y'all aren't ready for what? Are we going to? Should I pack? Is that why I wouldn't be ready? I would like to know your thought process behind the the caution that you're placing my way, the yield that you're giving me. You know? Like this guy. Y'all better watch out. Are you coming in guns a-blazing? What do they need to watch out for? It's generous that you're giving at least some warning, but it'd be nice if you were more specific, you know? Y'all better watch out. I have chicken pox. Stay home. Stay home. Include that in the message so that we can get ahead of this issue and you don't give that to someone else. Stay home. See, that's good. That's where, you telling us why we should watch out would be imperative. It'd be very important to know that information. Yeah, if you have chicken pox, that's a quick fix. Hey, don't go. But if you're going over there and you're like, I'm trying to get some Mai Tais, okay, well then, yeah, we'll let the people, that's a drink, right? I don't know what a Mai Tai is. But just going forward with the idea that a Mai Tai is a drink, then yeah, we'll let the bartender know to have some Mai Tais queued up for your boy. That's good. That's a good warning. But don't say y'all better watch out. Like there's someone's safety at risk, Because then that's a different conversation. There are people I have to talk. There's a phone tree that I have to reach into the depths of hell and get to if they have to watch out from some hostile situation. But it's always funny to me when people are like, watch out, or you ain't ready. And then they do the most mundane shit of their life. Yeah, you had 2 drinks and you drunk texted your ex and you went to bed early. Okay, what do you... We about to go crazy. Okay, you bought 3 shots tonight instead of 2. It's not even that you got a bonus. No. You can't afford that shit. Now you can't buy groceries next week. You know that, right? uh, Nothing makes you feel more like a bitch than having your arm shake when you take milk out of the fridge. uh, I have a list going. I have a list that I started a few weeks ago. Things that make me feel like a bitch. And the first one, the one that inspired this list, was that I took some milk out of the fridge and my arm shook a little bit. And I was like, I'm a bitch. And it made me think like, oh my God, if I can't pick up a gallon of milk without my arm shaking a little bit, how can I protect a family? How can, how can I survive? In the hunter-gatherer days, I would be the hunted, In the Donner Party, I would not be at dinner. I would be dinner because Jesus, I am weak, Taking out this fucking cow milk, just, oh. That's an ick, right? Like you take a girl back to your place. You're like, well, what can I get for you? And you're like, she's like, I'll take a Mai Tai. And you're like, okay, well, I had to give all the materials to Hawaii because they're expecting my friend. But what else would you like? She's like, okay, do you have milk? Milk? Yes. Actually, I just bought a fresh gallon, so it's completely full. I go in. Here you go. She's like, did your arm just shake? What's up? Did, sorry. Did you, when you took that milk out, did your arm just shake? Oh. Oh, did my arm shake? No, ew. What? That's fucking gross, man. Are you that weak that you can't pick up a gallon of milk? I mean, have you picked it up though? It's quite heavy. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna go home. Oh, are you? Because I was really looking forward to, making out with someone that just drank a cup of milk. You know how fucking gross milk is? It's like, you're the one with a gallon of it. Yeah, for you, okay? Oh. I thought about that. I've never, I put the gallon of milk down and I sat down for a couple minutes. I was like, what am I, dude, if you can't do this, how are you going to show up to work on Monday? Like, they hired you and you've proven that you're capable for a little bit now, but Jesus, maybe you've hit a new low. This is bad. You can't pick up milk? Like, that's one of the most emasculating things ever, just having your arms shake when you lift something. Specifically, it's not even anything. Like, sometimes you're like, oh man, this is a big crate. Like, it's justifiable. Like, it's a crate of like nails that you're about to eat. But when it's a gallon of fat free milk, it's like, dude, what are you? Hey man, maybe you should get 2% because that has 10 grams of protein instead of 9, and it looks like you need it, okay? But yeah, I'm starting that list. Maybe I'll make a video one day, like all the things that make me feel like a bitch. Number one, taking milk out of the fridge with one arm and having it just go, oh man. I like sweating. I feel like people look down on sweating. I really like sweating. Sweating is like a receipt for hard work. Like when I sweat, it's kind of like physical feedback that like, hey, you're doing a thing. That's why I don't like reading. Reading, you don't sweat. Actually, you know what? That's why I like reading in the sun. Because when I read in the sun, I'll finish 10 pages, but I'll be fucking dripping. And I'm like, well, I did a thing. Of course I'm sweating. But when you just read inside of a nice air conditioned library, you walk out of that shit drier than you came in. It was squelching, sweltering. That's a word. Sweltering, sweltering heat outside. You were fucking dripping sweat bullets. You come in, that shit just, ooh, you feel cool. Even though you just read 1,000 pages of Harry Potter, and that was just one chapter, but you don't feel like you accomplished much because there's no sweat. I love sweat, you know? Sweat's nice. Also, I like the smell of sweat. Not other people's sweat. No, gross. Ew. What do you think? I'm a fucking weirdo? No, I like the smell of my own sweat. I I don't know. This is weird. I think the smell of my sweat smells like cheeseburgers. I talked to a friend. She told me, she was like, my sweat smells like Rice Krispies treats. And I was like, see? So some people like to smell their sweat. And I have a theory. I have a theory that the reason my sweat smells like cheeseburgers to me is because growing up, I would go to basketball practice. Frequently, after basketball practice, I would eat cheeseburgers. And I think now my mind, Pavlov, I think now I associate the two. I start sweating. My mouth starts watering. It's like, where's that cheeseburger? I'm like, no, not today. I've turned a leaf. Okay. But I like sweating. It's nice feedback. It's like, you ever go to work and like you're working for weeks, but then you finally get that review at the end of the quarter and you're like, wow, okay, so I was doing that well. I'm glad I know this. Sweat's like a real time feedback. I love that. I love, what's great about sweat? It's like open communication. It's a like a relationship with good communication because if your body's heating up, sweat's like, I'm gonna come out now, and you're like, oh, thank you, that's a very clear message. And then if there's no sweat, you're like, well, this is an optimal temperature. Like when I'm just sitting here in this room and I start sweating, I'm like, oh, I should go turn the AC on. But if I'm sitting here, no sweat, I'm like, well, this is good. Maybe I should go check what temperature I'm at so that this can be the new normal. That's what's so great about sweat. It's real time feedback. In this world of mixed signals, I want to applaud sweat for being so direct. More people should be like sweat. More people should just tell me how they feel and remind me of cheeseburgers. That's all I ask. But no, we live in this fucking dry ass society. Do you realize how famous Will Smith must be to be famous with a name like Will Smith? Like, I know, all the drama aside, whatever. It's old news now. Can we just take a look at Will Smith and think about the fact that his name is William Smith, Bill Smith? His name is Will Smith. Do you understand that? And he's that famous. There's a baseball player named Will Smith. Still, I think he was on the Dodgers at one time. I don't know if he still is. But when I would watch baseball, I was like, God, every time they say his name, I just keep thinking that's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air right there. It's crazy. Like Timothy Chalamet, yeah, of course. You see Timothy Chalamet and you're like, no, he's not going to work at fucking Subway. Timothy Chalamet is not going to be like, you want to add some Miss Vicky's chips to your meal for 60 cents? Timothy Chalamet is going to be in movies. Will Smith? What? Will Smith, yeah, sure, he'd be in a movie with John Doe. Will Smith shouldn't be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's wild, right? But I was thinking about it. I think it's just a testament to how famous he is. That through the adversity of having such a basic ass name, he's the most famous Will Smith. Yeah, that's literally like if there was a famous guy named John Doe. Like Will Smith is a name, it's like a fake name you make up to keep someone's secrecy, their privacy, Like if you're telling a mutual friend some shit about like someone else, you would be like, yeah, fake name, Will Smith. Fucking pissed me off because he took my parking spot the other day. And they're like, wow, Will Smith sounds like a dick. And you're like, yeah, right? Little do they know them too. I just don't want to, create that problem. And then we all go to a party together and then the friend apologizes and is like, oh, by the way, so sorry for taking your spot. It was just, I had to take my mom to the hospital. So I needed, a quick getaway spot. So I took your spot. I'm so sorry. And then your third friend's like, what the fuck? So is that Will Smith? And you're like, fuck yeah. And then the other friend's like, oh, you were telling them stories about Will Smith? You tell me stories about Will Smith, but is that me? And I'm like, no, I just use the same alias for all of my friends. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? And then you get in hot water. But that just goes to show how fucking famous this guy is. You can't even use Will Smith as a fake name because that's his fucking name. Will Smith is a super famous guy, And I think we should applaud him, Just like we did when he accepted that award. And we should say, hey man, nice. You did it. You are the most famous guy with the most boring name. Anyways, this has been another episode. I'm doing well. You guys crushed the likes last episode. You left comments. I don't know why, but like the video got picked up a little bit. So like that was the highest performing video last week. So if you're one of the new people, hey, thanks for coming. Welcome. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. Got a lot of subscribers last week. I know not a lot, but like relatively. So I just want to say welcome. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. This is very, fun to do. And I will talk at you next week. Okay? Bye.